Stephen Goodman is an American actor. He gained national fame for his role as the family patriarch Dan Connor in the ABC comedy series Roseanne, for which he received a Golden Globe Award, and its sequel series The Connors. He is known as a character actor and regular collaborator with the Coen brothers, starring in such films as Raising Arizona, Barton Fink, The Big Lebowski, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, and Inside Llewyn Davis. He also had voice roles in numerous animated films, appearing as Pasha in the Emperor's New Groove franchise, James P. Sully-Sullivan in Disney/Pixar's Monsters, Inc. franchise, Baloo in the Jungle Book 2, George Wolfe's Bottom in Clifford's Really Big Movie, Leighton T. Montgomery in B-Movie, Eli Big Daddy LaBeouf in The Princess and the Frog, and Mr. Prendergast in Paranorman. Goodman's other film performances include lead roles in Always, King Ralph, The Babe, The Flintstones, Blues Brothers 2000, and 10 Cloverfield Lane, and supporting roles Indiana True Stories, Storytelling, Beyond the Sea, Evan Almighty, Speed Racer, Pope Joan, The Artist, Argo, The Hangover Part 3, The Monuments Men, Trumbo, Patriots Day, and Atomic Blonde. On television, Goodman had regular roles in the HBO drama series Dream, the Audience Network legal drama series Damages, the Prime Video comedy series Alpha House, and the HBO comedy series The Righteous Gemstones. He has been a frequent host of Saturday Night Live, as well as playing guest roles in series such as The West Wing, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, and Community. John Heilpern of Vanity Fair has called him among our very finest actors. IndieWire named him one of the best actors never to have received an Academy Award nomination. Premise: The Righteous Gemstones depicts a family of televangelists and megachurch pastors led by widowed patriarch Eli Gemstone. Eli and his immature children, Jesse, Judy, and Kelvin, lead opulent lives funded by church donations. In the first season, Eli's estranged brother-in-law, baby Billy Freeman, is brought in to lead the Gemstones' new shopping mall-based satellite church, which leads to a conflict with Reverend John Wesley Seasons, whose smaller, neighboring church is threatened. Concurrently, a trio of masked figures blackmail Jesse with a scandalous video documenting the lewd behavior of him and his best friends. In the second season, Jesse, an Amber partner with Texas megachurch leaders Lyle and Lindy, listens to develop a Christian timeshare resort. The family faces threats including investigative journalist Thaniel Block, Jr., an old friend from Eli's criminal past, and a mysterious group of motorcycle-riding assassins. Cast and characters: Main. Danny McBride as Jesse Gemstone, Eli's oldest son and associate pastor of the Gemstone Salvation Center. Although appearing to be a faithful father and husband, Jesse barely conceals a crude and arrogant personality and a debauched lifestyle, which he often partakes in with his gang of friends and subordinates. John Goodman as Dr. Eli Gemstone, the patriarch of the Gemstone family and lead pastor of the Gemstone Salvation Center. Eli is a widower, having lost his wife, Amy Lee, 1 year prior to the start of the series. Although not as openly greedy and vulgar as his children, Eli often prioritizes his own wealth and status ahead of spirituality. Adam Devine as Kelvin Gemstone, Eli's youngest son and youth pastor of the Gemstone Salvation Center. Kelvin strives to prove himself as a leader, despite his immaturity and impulsiveness. He shares his mansion with his recent convert and friend, Keith Chambers. Edi Patterson as Judy Gemstone, Eli's daughter. Judy, the middle child, often feels underestimated by her family and is prone to neurotic and psychopathic behavior. Tony Cavallero as Keith Chambers, a dim-witted ex-Satanist and roommate of Kelvin, who works security at the Gemstones Church. Keith reveres Kelvin as a spiritual leader. Cassidy Freeman as Amber Gemstone, Jesse's wife, who projects the image of a supportive and loving spouse. She encourages Jesse's ambitions to take more control of the church while privately struggling with his negative qualities. Skyla Gisondo as Gideon Gemstone, Jesse's oldest son, who moved to California to be a stunt performer, an act that Jesse considered to be a betrayal. Gideon is a skilled martial artist. Walton Goggins as baby Billy Freeman, Eli's brother-in-law and brother of the deceased Amy Lee Gemstone. A faded child star who was once part of a gospel song and dance double act with his sister, baby Billy is a habitual liar whose financial dependence, bad influence on Jesse and Judy, and tendency to abandon his loved ones strained his relationship with the Gemstones. Baby Billy resides at Freeman's Gap, his and Amy Leah's childhood home in the Appalachian Mountains, with his much younger wife Tiffany. Gregory Allen Williams as Martin Imari, Eli's right-hand man and the Gemstones accountant who is often entrusted with cleaning up after the family's scandals. Tim Baltz as Benjamin Jason B.J. Barnes, Judy's sensitive and mediocre fiancé, and later, husband. He is often intimidated by Judy, although it's apparent that he really loves her. B.J. works in an optometrist's office in a local grocery store. Dermot Mulroney as Rev. John Wesley Seasons, a pastor of a much smaller congregation, forced to compete with the Gemstones' new church in Locust Grove. Jennifer Nettles as Amy Lee Gemstone, Eli's deceased wife and mother of Jesse, Judy, and Kelvin. Nettles portrays Amy Lee in flashbacks. Recurring. Jody Hill as Levi, a member of Jesse's gang and guitarist at the Gemstone Salvation Center. James Dumont as Chad, a member of Jesse's gang whose marriage falls apart after the revelation of his scandalous behavior. Troy Anthony Hogan as Matthew, a member of Jesse's gang. Jay Laros as Gregory, a member of Jesse's gang. Valen Hall as Tiffany Freeman, baby Billy's much younger and childish wife. Kelton Dumont as Pontius Gemstone, Jesse's second son. Gavin Munn as Abraham Gemstone, Jesse's youngest son. Scott MacArthur as Scotty, a stuntman, an associate of Gideon's from Los Angeles. Mary Hollis Inboden as Mandy, wife, and later, ex-wife of Chad. Cullen Moss as Brock, a security guard at the Gemstones family compound. Jade Pettijohn as Nancy, Dale, and Gay Nancy's rebellious teenage daughter. Jason Schwartzman as Thaniel Block, an investigative reporter writing about the Gemstone family. Eric Roberts as Glendon Jr. Marsh Jr., a professional wrestling promoter who shares a criminal past with Eli. Eric Andre as Lyle Listens, a prominent Texas televangelist who wants to work with Jesse. Jessica Lowe as Lindy Listens, Lyle's wife and business partner. Steve Zahn as Peter, a militia leader. Kristen Johnston as May Montgomery, someone who has history with the Gemstone family. Guest. Virginia Gardner as Lucy, Scotty's girlfriend and Gideon's friend. M. Emmett Walsh as Granddaddy Roy Gemstone, Eli's father. Toby Huss as Dale Nancy, a loose parody of Dan Cathy, and a congregant and donor to the Gemstones Church. Marla Maples as Gay Nancy, Dale Nancy's wife. Joe Jonas as himself, a CO investor in Zion's Landing. Wayne Duvall as Glendon Marsh Sr., a professional wrestling promoter and organized crime figure. Macaulay Culkin as Harmon Freeman, baby Billy Freeman's estranged son from a previous marriage, whom he abandoned in 1993. Jeremy T. Thomas portrays a younger Harmon in flashbacks. John Amos as Buddy Listens, Lyle's father. Episodes. Season 1. Season 2. Production. Development. On June 28, 2018, it was announced that HBO had given the production a pilot order. The episode was written and directed by Danny McBride, who is also executive producer alongside Jody Hill and David Gordon Green. On October 2, 2018, it was reported that HBO had given the production a series order. On July 1, 2019, it was announced that the series would premiere on August 18, 2019. On September 9, 2019, the series was renewed for a second season. On January 25, 2022, HBO renewed the series for a third season. Writing: McBride has said he intends the series to run longer than anything we've done before, including the 4-season Eastbound and Down and the 2-season Vice Principals. If I had my way, when this is done, it's like this epic, sprawling tale, like the fucking Thornbirds or something, he told Polygon. You'll know everybody in this family, cousins, great-uncles, all these people. In my eyes, this season is Chapter 1. It's just setting the table for who all these people are and what's about to happen. Like McBride's previous television characters, the Gemstones have an inflated sense of self. McBride comments, "To me, the idea of a minister that sees themselves as bigger than God just feels like the ultimate display of that." For the second season, Eli's backstory was inspired by the Dixie Mafia and the Memphis professional wrestling business, two subjects that have long fascinated McBride. He has stated that the Gemstones were originally inspired by mafia families and that Eli's gangster background informs how the character runs his church in the present. He draws a parallel between wrestling and televangelism in that both businesses are built around showmanship and maintaining kayfabe. Casting. Alongside the pilot order announcement, it was confirmed that Danny McBride and John Goodman would star in the pilot. In July 2018, it was announced that Edi Patterson, Adam Devine, Cassidy Freeman, Tony Cavallero, and Tim Baltz had also joined the pilot's main cast. In May 2021, Jason Schwartzman, Eric Roberts and Eric Andre joined the cast in recurring roles for the second season. Filming. Principal photography for the pilot was completed in August 2018 in Charleston, South Carolina at Citadel Mall. The North Charleston Coliseum served as the interior of Gemstone Ministries, while a former Sears store at Citadel Mall was repurposed into the Locust Grove Worship Center. In April 2021, HBO confirmed the second season had gone into production, having continued to film mainly in Charleston. In September 2022, it was reported that production on the third season was shut down due to the landfall of Hurricane Ian in South Carolina. Music. The series is composed by Joseph Stevens, who has collaborated with McBride on his previous television series. An original song Misbehavin' became a viral hit after its debut in the episode Interlude. Performed by Jennifer Nettles and Walton Goggins as their characters Amy Lee and Baby Billy, Misbehavin' is the fictional Freeman siblings' most popular song, which they performed as children in the 1960s and reprised as adults in 1989. The song was written by McBride, CO star and CO writer Edi Patterson, and composer Stevens, who designed it to mimic a wholesome, old-time country song but with absurd lyrics such as "Runnin' through the house with a pickle in my mouth." Release. On December 24, 2018, a first-look still image from the series was released featuring Danny McBride, John Goodman, and Adam Devine as Jesse Gemstone, Eli Gemstone, and Kelvin Gemstone, respectively. The series premiered on HBO on August 18, 2019. Reception. Critical response. For the first season, the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes reported a 75% approval rating with an average rating of 7.1/10, based on 65 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, "Though it may not win many new converts, fans of Danny McBride will find much to praise in the righteous Gemstones' darkly hilarious pews." Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the season a score of 67 out of 100, based on 20 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. For the second season, Rotten Tomatoes reported a 93% approval rating with an average rating of 7.4/10, based on 14 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, "The Righteous Gemstones' second season can be as messy as its title characters, but it's hard to complain when the results are this uproariously funny." Metacritic assigned the season a score of 83 out of 100, based on 10 critics, indicating universal acclaim.